Hey yo, Drew from Soccer Kinesiology. Today we're discussing change of directions, in short, CODs. We want to improve our CODs because that's going to improve our actual performance in a soccer game. But just like there's a lot of different ways to pass a soccer ball, right foot, left foot, on the ground, in the air, etc. There's a lot of different types of CODs. Right? From a biomechanics point of view, there's three general types. One's going to be a pivot, one's going to be a cyclic step, and one's going to be a side step. And what determines which COD mechanic we employ in any situation depends on two factors. One's going to be approach velocity, so the speed that you have coming into a COD, as well as the COD angle. We would employ a COD mechanic that more closely resembles a pivot when approach speeds are low and the angles are sharp. Meanwhile, with greater approach speeds and flatter angles, we would probably implement a cyclic step. Lastly, the side step is kind of like our middle ground. It would serve to be the preferred COD mechanic in between the pivot and cyclic step for moderate approach speeds and moderate angles. So once again, just like how we practice our different ways to pass a soccer ball, it's absolutely vital that we practice our different ways to change directions. We should start by assessing our different COD mechanics, identifying our strengths and weaknesses, and from there, working on making a program that improves on these. Analyzing an athlete's performance during the classic 5-10-5 agility run is a great way to assess their pivot CODs. Meanwhile, analyzing an athlete's performance during the classic Illinois agility run is a great way to assess their cyclic step CODs. Meanwhile, I struggle to find a standardized agility test that assesses an athlete's side step. With that said, I'm excited to share an agility test that I designed myself based on the side step that I see most frequently used on the pitch. It's comparable to the Illinois agility run, except that the athlete is not given as much of a runway to pick up speed, as well as being forced to squeeze through tighter spaces. So, in review, there's three different types of CODs. One is the pivot for low speed, sharp angles. Number two is going to be the cyclic step for high speeds, flat angles. And number three is going to be the side step in between. Thanks everybody. Drew from Soccer Kinesiology.